Hey there hunters, Lord here, back with another Monster Hunter Wilds video. Today at the Tokyo Game Show, Capcom did a full showcase for a bunch of their exciting news coming up, but what we care about most is Title Update 3. We also did get a sneak peek at Title Update 4, but I'll try to keep that towards the end of the video, so if you're trying to avoid spoilers, you'll be able to do so. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this showcase.
新のプロモーション映像をご覧ください。どうぞ。
So of course we've already seen Omega Planetus announced beforehand, but here's just kind of a deeper look into these things. This new armor set looks super dope. The new Sacred looks cool, and that greatsword. Oh my word! I mean, can we talk about how cool that greatsword is just real quick? I mean, come on, dude. That's going to be my Laird greatsword probably until Monster Hunter 7 comes out. Gotta be honest, that's freaking sweet. Of course, a more in-depth look at the Omega Planetus fight looks really insane, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely gonna need to be in a voice chat with some friends for this one. Another quick thing I wanted to go over right here, this is something new that of course we haven't had in previous games. If this is something from Final Fantasy and you guys have played it, let me know down in the comments below. I've personally never played the games, but this sort of bubble shield looks really cool. I wonder how many we'll be able to take, what all it can block, etc. But I'm pretty excited for kind of the possibility of that. Hopefully it's not something quite like, you know, Alatreon's Eschaton Judgment, where you basically have to use this thing to avoid it. It looked like the attack came out in sort of a plus pattern, as we can see here. So we see maybe some areas where we can hide from the attack and not get hit. But if you're kind of in the zone, you can drop that bubble shield and continue attacking, which again just gives nice counterplay and a bit more uniqueness to the Planetus fight overall. This is the new armor ability. They'll touch more on that later, but looks super cool. I'm pretty excited for this one, guys, I can't lie. So it looks like maybe it was some sort of a counter where the damage you take while you have this little bubble on you goes into the edge of shadow, as we saw there. You can see we did offsets on the hand as well as power clashes with the hand attacks. That's pretty cool. I'm a huge fan of the little mini Omega Planetus that our Palico is holding here. I hope that that's some sort of like head layer armor we can get or something, you know, that can follow us around, because I think it's really cute. Just little spider guy. Adorable, right? And then we get a look at this. To me, this looks like, I thought it was maybe a new weapon type, but I think it's just a sword and shield that will have a special ability. Again, we'll touch a little bit more on that later in the video. And there we go, Omega Planetus bringing in an Ursula. Now, I don't know if he becomes an Ursula. It looked like he flew away, or if it's just an Ursula that he summons. But again, you can see kind of the Final Fantasy style things here of us getting the different ailments added to us, as well as, of course, the attacks with the names on them, etc. And then that looks like some sort of ultimate ability, which is scary, of course. And then we get to see a new greatsword move that comes with the specific greatsword from this collaboration. Again, a lot of this I've said already, we'll touch on a little bit later. They'll show a little bit more in depth. But overall, that fight looks super sick. I'm definitely looking forward to running that with you guys. Keep an eye out on the channel for a live stream open lobby for this one. Of course, the next Arch-Tempered is going to be New Udra, and just like the other ATs, the title update comes out September 29th, and AT New Udra will be coming out about a month later on October 22nd.
Will include a wide variety of content, including a special collaboration with Final Fantasy XIV. In an extra mission, you'll get to experience a story.
So it'll be like a full side mission, which is a little different than the Behemoth one, but very cool overall.
Jobs from the world.
So again, I haven't played Final Fantasy XIV, but I assume the jobs are like the classes. So we'll be getting the Dark Knight and Pictomancer classes basically here. The Pictomancer was the one you saw where I was talking about. It looked like a sword and shield, and they kind of painted stuff, and it did attacks. And then of course the Dark Knight seems to be this great sword wielding boss here. So we'll go ahead and continue on.
14, Dark Knight, and Pictomancer will make their debut in Wilds.
That's a lot of damage right there. 889.
The
Nothing to
Dark
scoff
Knight
at.
wields a two-handed sword and unleashes powerful
Edge
techniques.
of Shadow
that
we
draw
saw
on the
there.
power of
True
darkness.
Charge Slash, of course.
As part of the Bale Armor
So we'll be
Alpha
getting the
set
Bale
bonus,
Armor Alpha, which again I think just looks really cool. Let me see if I can just rewind by a couple frames here. Yeah, super sick looking. They're showing it just with the base Hope weapons here in the background, but of course the new Greatsword will be included with this set. But this is dope. I hope its skills are good. I'm kind of tired of running 2- and 4-piece gore, so maybe not as OP as the Behemoth armor was in Monster Hunter World, but just something where running, you know, 2 to 4 pieces of this is as good or maybe just a smidge better than, you know, our current gore setups. That'd be really nice.
set bonus
Blackest
skill,
Night.
they can
Very
activate
cool.
a unique
So it
action
looks like,
of the
again, a
Blackest
counter
Night.
when you take damage, you do that big sweeping attack, so that's pretty cool.
The Greatsword Shadowbringer has an exclusive weapon skill.
The cut here just looks so freaking sweet. I'm a huge fan of that.
Pictomancers.
And then, of course, the
causing their
Pictomancer
arms
setup.
to life.
Again, I don't know much
Having
about
the
this,
soul
so
of the
drop it down in the
Pictomancer
comments
in your
below
item
if you're
pouch
knowledgeable
will
on
allow
this,
you to
but
cast
looks pretty
Pictomancer
fun.
spells like
Again,
Palm
it's
of Deep.
very similar to the Street Fighter collab where we had something on our item bar that were attacks instead of actually pressing your weapon's attack buttons. We've seen that now with both the Dark Knight and the Pictomancer. So that'll be pretty interesting to see. Is it just good against Omega Planetus? Is that going to be something that we see in normal day-to-day runs, or is it just kind of be like the Akuma armor where it's just kind of a for fun thing that's not necessarily as good as everything else but looks cool? I don't know, but I'm very interested in seeing it for sure. Palico as a little creature from Final Fantasy. The Sacred as another one of the creatures from Final Fantasy.
As well as cosmetic rewards like pendants. and
Cosmetics, of
gestures.
course, always. That's Monster Hunter.
In
So
order to defeat Omega Planetus, a number of special
bubble
gameplay
shield once again
mechanics will
shown.
prove especially effective.
see, here's where I'm like, is Nursilla being Omega Planetus or what? Because like
As well as
it does this attack. Like Nursilla doesn't usually do that, but that's pretty cool. And then there's the ult. Looks like, again, you can hide from that in the bubble shield. So it might be one of those resource management things where you have to keep the bubble shield, you know, between your parties and give good comms for when you're going to use it and make sure everybody has one available when we get to the ult. So that way we're all together so we can block it. But again, I like team play mechanics. That's always fun. AT New Udra, of course. Another arch-tempered monster that's coming out a little bit later. Hopefully the armor set is really good. I'm expecting a lot of resentment and a lot of burst, so hopefully that will shake up the meta a little bit. But how sick does this stuff look? Like, they really knocked it out of the park with these Gamma armor sets. I think overall they're just, you know, they maintain the alpha and beta kind of aura, but just take it up another notch, so I'm a huge fan of that. I'll definitely be knocking that out as some layered armor for sure. Some new DLC, of course. There's going to be a bunch of gestures and Catgirl Gooner bait from Capcom, as well as these new quest completion animations. So if you're super lonely, you can get this DLC and hang out with Alma or Gemma at the end of your quests. Not sure I'll be partaking too much in that, but it's pretty cool. Something new. Who really cares? Oh man, these are creepy. I don't like these. Some new music, Sacred's hanging out, stuff for your camp, of course. Very cool customization options, some new stickers, the stuff we're used to seeing, and then of course some paid DLC. So this is if you don't have, you know, the DLC packs from, I think it's the deluxe, the Ultimate Deluxe Edition or whatever. You get the original DLC packs, but then there's paid on top of that. We'll be getting some new event quests. We get the Amstrigan Palico armor there, which is cool. This skull mask was in World. It might have been in older games as well, but I just genuinely can't remember. I believe it had level 1 handicraft and a level 2 slot. So I'll be interested to see if they change that up at all. The new dual blades that we've seen a little bit, as well as, of course, a pendant. And then double frenzied monster here. So I wonder if they're going to be buffing the frenzied monster so they don't die in 2 seconds. Maybe, but we'll see.
for 11
Sregios challenge quest. Cool, cool. With Duna Charge Blade I'm seeing there. And then, of course, you know, trying to get A rank on AT New Udra. The new festival, the Dream Spell, Halloween themed. This is definitely the best looking one by far. I'm not a huge Halloween guy, but the visuals on this are absolutely incredible in the Grand Hub. Big fan. This was called the Harvest set in World, and I believe Mossgarl in the older games. The skills have differentiated between generations, but it's usually a pretty cool one.
So be sure to check it out.
Of course, some new Palico and camp stuff. Pretty cool, but I mean, just how sick is that? I mean, this is so freaking cool looking. Like, they really knocked it out of the park with the design choice on this one for the Grand Hub. Alright, so for Tokyo Game Show, you'll be able to play against Omega Planetus early, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, I'm not in Tokyo, so I will be playing it with you guys on the 29th. The Monster Hunter Wilds Championships, so you guys can attend these. I will personally be attending the Monster Hunter Wilds USA Championship at TwitchCon in San Diego, so if you guys are there, let me know. I'd love to get a chance to meet up with some of you guys in person. That would be super cool, but this will be my first ever event that I'm going to, so I'm pretty excited. Let me know if you guys are going to be there, but that's not too big of a deal here. And then, of course, they talk about how they're changing a whole bunch of things. If you follow them on Twitter at all, they've been doing guild notes. I think they're up to like 31 or 32 changes now where they're listening to the community and making changes. This is just something really important, which is super cool. They now have the full guild report out on the website, so you can see everything that they have changed and will be changing over time based on player feedback, which again is just really what you want to hear. I know Monster Hunter Wilds has a lot of variance in how people feel about the game and how people feel about various aspects of the game. So taking community feedback and making those changes is something that's really important to us as players. So very happy to see them taking that very seriously. Up next is the roadmap. We'll go ahead and take a quick look at that. So Monday, September 29th is Title Update 3. As of right now, it doesn't look like there will be any new monsters besides for Omega Planetus, but I have a feeling that that will take up quite a bit of our time. Then, like I said earlier, a little under a month later, AT New Udra will be coming out. At the same time, the Festival Accord Dream Spell will be coming out. All previous event quests will be available during these festivals. And then we get a small sneak peek at Title Update 4, where we will be getting our first Elder Dragon that will be coming in December, as well as a new, probably winter-themed festival, some new endgame content, as well as improvements. I'm very interested to see what the expanded endgame content will be. If I had to guess, it will be a better way to farm talismans or better talismans overall. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on Title Update 4. Let's see what we have. What else we have here? They're adding 9-star tempered monsters. We know that they're adding some new ones like Blangonga and Ajarakan and a few others to that. They will be adding more with Title Update 4. He just spoke about the 9 stars, so again, that's why I assume it will have something to do with the talismans overall, which is pretty exciting because the talisman grind has been pretty good, and it's not so much of an upgrade to our sets that we really need to be doing it, but it is a nice way to expand the endgame. And then I will go ahead and hit you guys with spoiler warning. If you don't want to know what's coming in Title Update 4, this is your chance to click away or mute or move on to the next section of the video. This is the Title Update 4 teaser, so get ready, boys. Oh man, he's so cool. Gog Mazios, finally returning on the next-gen consoles. I've never personally got a chance to fight this guy, but I am so excited. It's one of the coolest monster designs in the entire franchise, in my opinion, and I'm super excited to be able to fight Gog Mazios here in Wilds. The graphics of this game are just incredible, and so being able to see one of those older monsters that is a huge fan favorite finally realized here in Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be incredible. So I'm super excited. I hate to say it, I might actually be more excited for Title Update 4 now that they showed, you know, the additional endgame content and GOG Mazios all coming. But Title Update 3 will be dropping on Monday the 29th. I hope to see you guys there. Let me know your thoughts on this update down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I wish you all a good day and happy hunting.